Hi, I'm Casey, and I have a crush on food. And today I have a crush on mussels with linguine. Do you like mussels? I like mussels. They kind of feel decadent to eat or to order when you're at a restaurant. They're not that hard to make. So I'm going to show you how to make an easy tomato broth, which is my favorite way to eat them. And it's not going to take hardly any time at all. On my stove I have a good sized pot, and it's on a medium heat. And I'm going to add a quarter cup of finely chopped onion. I'm going to add half a tablespoon of butter, and then one good sized crushed garlic clove. To crush it, you just take the skin off and then you just kind of rub it with the knife to flatten it out. That way the flavor comes out, but you don't get necessarily all the pieces of the garlic clove. I'm also boiling a good sized pot of water, so we're going to make about 3/4 pounds of linguine as well. So let your butter melt and your onions get a little bit brown, and then we'll add some other stuff to the pot. So once your butter is melted and your onions start to soften, maybe brown a little, but mostly just soften, you're going to add half a cup of a nice dry white wine to your pan. And you want it to kind of bubble and boil, burn off the alcohol, which should happen very quickly. And then you're going to add mussels. When I make mussels at home, I use frozen mussels. They're already cleaned and easy to cook. So you can definitely buy fresh mussels and clean them if you want to. I have 2 pounds here. So I'm going to add the frozen mussels to my pan. One great thing about mussels is they're not that expensive, so you kind of feel like you're fine dining at home, but for not that much money. So once you've got those in the pan, then you're going to cover them. And with frozen mussels, you want them to open up, and of course all the frozen juice you want to be melted, and you want the mussels to be hot. So every minute and a half, you can shake the pan, and then after about 3 or 4 minutes, you can open it and check them. So I'll be back. All right, my mussels are finished, and you can see how they open up in the hot water, or the hot broth. So what you're going to do is remove the mussels from the pan. Just put them in a bowl. Be gentle because the shell may break easily, and then you'll have shells in your seafood. Nobody likes that. But if it happens, it happens. Alright, so once you have the mussels removed, you're going to be left with the broth, or the beginning of the broth. So what you're going to do is drain the broth, because the mussels have, they may have sand in them, and so you may have some sand or particles in your broth. So what I have here is a kind of my own way of draining it, which is just a paper towel inside of a colander. You do want to save the broth because we're going to add it to the sauce after we make the rest of it. So it's going to collect in the bowl that I've put underneath the colander. You can also use a cheesecloth with a fancy strainer. It's up to you. You definitely want to reserve the broth. Alright, so the next step is to cook the tomato part of the broth. So here, put your pan back on the stove. Should still be kind of hot, and you're just going to coat the bottom with a little bit of olive oil, maybe a tablespoon. And to this, you're going to add some shells in here. You're going to add 2 garlic cloves that are minced, and then a little bit of crushed red pepper flakes. So the red pepper flakes are up to you. You can put a 1/4 teaspoon if you want. I just put kind of like a dash in mine. It just depends on how spicy you like things. So we're just going to cook this for half a minute, maybe 20 seconds or so. To the pan, I'm going to add some canned tomatoes. So you need about 20 ounces of whole canned tomatoes that I food processed. I just pulsed them a few times. So I'm going to add those to the pan. And then spices. So 1 teaspoon of oregano, dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of thyme, and just a pinch of sugar. So you're going to let these all cook together until they're hot, and then we'll finish everything up. Alright, everything's done. We just have to put it together. So I'm going to add back the broth that we strained from cooking the mussels in to my pan. I'm going to gently add back the mussels. And you're just going to bring this maybe to a slight boil, just to make sure that the mussels are hot again. And then you can also add your pasta. You can add your pasta to the pan. That's what I like to do. You can serve it on the side. Just cook the linguine according to the package directions. Looks good. And then I'm just going to sprinkle about 1/4 cup of chopped flat leaf parsley on top, just to garnish and give it a little bit of different flavor. And then you're done. And you've made mussels with linguine, and you can impress everyone because they'll think it's hard, but it's not. So I hope you try my mussels with linguine and you love it.